Right, so we're here at Firswood Fisheries and we've been out today doing some filming of a few different methods of what we think is going to start working over the next few weeks, and a couple of, different types of sort of methods to approach this fishery. And the sun's come out later in the day and we couldn't help ourselves but have a go down the edge in the shallow water. So the fish are starting to come in now. It's getting to that time of year where the fish are going to start to come in the shallow water, and you can get on one of my favourite rigs, which is the mudline rig. So what this rig's all about, it's about having a nice positive rig to keep your rig stable in the shallow water. When them fish are coming in and they're swirling, they're wafting your rig around, just keep everything nice and positive over your fed area. So it's got, like I say, like a muddy float, a nice positive bulk, nice short hook length with a decent size hook to fish a bunch of maggots or a piece of corn or a piece of meat on the hook. So today, I just fed some ground bait down my left hand edge, just behind myself here. We're on a bit of a point here on peg 2 at first, but it sort of sticks out a little bit to the peg behind you. So you just have to come back on yourself a little bit. Now on this peg, there's a bit of a cut in here in the grass, and tight in against the bank, you have sort of 12, 13 inches. And just as you come back to this little bit of grass in front of you, you've got a nice flat area there in about 16, 17 inches. Now it seems today, them fish don't want to go right into the shallow water, that sort of 12, 13 inches, but just plumbing up where it's nice and flat in that a little bit more water. Still that nice mudline depth of water seems to be working well. So I'm just gonna put some maggots on the hook. And again, I want a nice standout hook bait when the fish are coming in and they're swirling. If you use too small a hook bait, you tend to find that you struggle to get them picking your bait out. So just gonna put sort of 4 or 5 dead maggots on the hook. I've just got a large Guru cab pot, which I'm filling up with some Blake's pole mix and a few micro pellets, pressing it in. I've got a little bit of tape on my pole where I'm going to, and I can just swing it in, line it up with my marker, which is just on the edge of this grass here, dip my pot, let me ground bait release, swing my bait over my marker, and just wait for a fish to come in. Now, still not, like I say, still not middle of summer where they're straight on it and there's fish everywhere, but you'll see an odd, hopefully should see an odd fish coming in the peg, odd little swirl. Like there's one now, just a bit out from the bank now, just as I said it. Fish has hopefully responded to that little pot of ground bait and it's going to come in to the peg. Now again, for that same reason, I've got a fairly longish line between float and pole. Nothing too long, but just to try and not spook them fish as they're coming into the shallow water. Got a back shot on the rig, it's really important. Just hold my float right in line with my marker. Wait for one to take it. So I've seen a swirl of a fish come in the peg. There's another little swirl now. The fish seems to be getting closer to my rig. Little tail. These are things what you gotta watch out for. But don't worry too much if you're seeing an odd swirl. You're thinking, why is it not going under? Just wait for the fish to find that little pile of ground bait what you fed. So there's a little bit of wind. It's just drifting my rig just a little bit past my back shot. Now what I might do next, Chuck, I might just slide my back shot that little bit closer to my float just to pin it in position right over where I'm fishing. Got that back in position over my bait now. Again, a little swirl. Shouldn't be long. There's definitely a few fish kicking about. Shouldn't be long till one picks my hook bait up and I catch it. There we go. See, I'll just being that little bit patient. Don't worry about the swirls you can see. You're going to see a lot of the fish that come in your peg in that depth of water. Obviously, when you're fishing in deeper water, you tend to not see them swirls, but that's often probably happening under the water. You've got fish swimming around your rig. You just got to wait for them to pick your hook bait up. But we've got another nice Firswood F1. About £2, nice fish, top lip, popping back. And yeah, that's what this rig's about. Just keeping everything nice and pinned down in that shallow water. And trying to make sure you're hooking the fish cleanly every time. You know, you don't need to catch really quick. If you can come back with a fish every time, nice and clean, keep everything still and patient and wait for a proper bite, you're going to do well. So again, just take care of hooking your maggots, make sure everything goes on nice. Fill your pot up with ground bait, press it in nice and light into the pot. Again, you want it to come out all in one go, nice and quick. You don't want to be having to bang it out and it comes out in stages. You want to just set that little trap. So again, line it up with your marker, just on the edge of this bit of grass, just beyond it, just where I've got a nice little flat area to fish. Swing my rig into position. Make sure everything's right over that bait. Like I say, the fish are going to give themselves away. There's a little swirl now. Definitely a fish kicking about. Just sit, be patient. There we go. You can see how well that can work when the fish are there and you're in the right depth of water. Again, not a massive F1, but still, at that sort of speed, you'd be still building a good weight. Again, £1.5. Popping back. We'll have one more chuck, see if we can get another one. Gonna be greedy. Just clean the hook, there's odd little bit of grass and debris, don't leave that on. You're going to get a bit of that when you're fishing down the edge. So again, I've just got 5 maggots on the hook, nice decent bunch of maggots, and a 14 Super LWG, nice and positive. Again, ship out, line up with your tape, swing your rig into position, dunk my pot under the water, lift it up, get it right on that bait. With a little indication there straight away. Don't think it's disturbed my ground bait though, so I'm just going to keep everything in position. I'm just going to make sure that rig's back on my bait. Did just drift with that indication what I had. And there we go. Well, that could be a good fish as well. I just have to take my time a little bit more with this one. Like normally with this rig, in the height of the summer, I'd be fishing with sort of grey hydro, a little bit more positive elastics. Just because we're still not quite there yet, I've just stuck with me white hydro because there is a few smaller F1s, £1.5. This could be a carp or a bigger F1. I think it is a carp. Seems to be playing like a carp. You normally later in the session do get a few of these on this tactic. So take me time, make sure. Can't afford to rush these. These are your bonus fish on matches like this. There you go. Cracking carp that. It's typical sort of Firswood stamp carp. They're normally good size, probably £5 mirror. Just pinged out at the net. But them are the sort of fish what this rig's all about. Them nice big mirrors. So I'm just going to plop him back. And if you want to know exactly how to tie this rig, what I've used today, I've got a new rig strip out which shows exactly how you tie this mudline rig. So get over to rigmate.co.uk. I think it'll be on the screen now, so you can click the link or type it into your browser and you'll be able to go and get the strip which shows you exactly how to tie the rig, all the components on your RigMate. Make it dead simple to get the exact same rig as me.